Howdy ho, everyone. It's me, Ashley Branch, your favorite friendly neighborhood mom and the creator of the Mommylogeauxs, bringing you Women, Wives, and Moms podcast. Get into it. Hey y'all, what's up? It's me, Ashley Branch, your favorite friendly neighborhood mom, the creator of the Mommylogeauxs, and this podcast, Women, Wives, and Moms. We're continuing with the 30 days of the Mommylogeauxs. And for those who don't know, Mommylogeauxs was basically a journal I had on social media that chronicled. I cannot speak. that recorded my experiences. It started off when I was pregnant with my first child, Ava, and just the ridiculousness that comes with being a mom. Like the stories that are on there, if you go on Facebook and you type in Mommylogeauxs, if you type in any form of the word Mommylogeauxs and my name, Ashley Branch, ASHLEIGH, branch, like a tree branch, you should be able to find those little short snippets on Facebook. They're very short. There may be about 4 or 5 from 10 years that are really, really long. But I mean, if I see something that's too long, I skim. I don't just skip it, but I'll skim through it. So you ain't got to read the whole thing if you don't want to, baby. But it's funny. Anyway, so I'm on YouTube, Ashley Branch. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, Ashley B Comedy. That's spelled the right way, not the right way. And I'm also on TikTok, same thing, Ashley B Comedy. So if you want to see different sides of me, because this is just podcast, Ashley, I have different things. And I eventually will start putting up my stand-up because I'm also a stand-up comedian. Yay! Speaking of comedian, when I did these 30 days of the Mommylogeauxs, Ava had just performed with Black Girl Giggles, and she did stand-up. And she did it for the first time on a stage, and I'm not talking about a small stage, I'm talking about a fairly large stage at Cafe Istanbul, and she did a wonderful job. Since then, she maybe performed maybe 2 or 3 other times that same little set, and that was in 2019. So 2020 rolls around. Of course, it's a pandemic, and I'm not about to just drag my child everywhere there are people, because at the time they didn't have vaccines for them and all that other stuff, and I just wasn't about it. I wasn't going anywhere. And now she's, much older. When she did it, she was 7. Now she's 10. And she's starting to ask me, Mama, I wanna do stand up again. And I'm like, okay, you have to write new material. And she was like, what? I'm like, you can't talk about being in the second grade, going to the second grade, and you're now in the 5th grade. You have to talk about your new experiences. And she started, she likes these corny jokes. And I just be like, your comedian mama's heart can't take these corny ass jokes. I can't do it, Ava. We gonna work on them. Gotta make sure I'm recording, because let me tell you, you get burned once, man. That's one thing. But I have burned myself several times. So I gotta look. Anyway, so I'm like, Ava, come on, you gotta come up with new material. You gotta stop hitting me with these corny ass jokes. And, we'll work on it. Part of me doesn't want her in the limelight like that. Not at this age. And part of me wants her to do it. Because for me, doing stand-up was all about identity. I am somebody's daughter all the time. My mom's side of the family's last name is fairly notable in the city. I'm not saying they famous, but it's notable. And that's so-and-so's daughter, or that's so-and-so's niece, or whoever. She from them over there. And I'm not just Ashley. And it starts to get at you. I want Ava to do it because she kind of struggles with the same thing. She's a branch girl. Or that's, so-and-so's daughter. Or, that's so-and-so's granddaughter. And she's never just Ava. She's always grouped in with her sisters. And I want her and her sisters to have their own identity. So I talked to Ava about it, and I was like, look, you write your own material this time. I wrote the jokes last time, and I'll put the link to her stand up in this particular podcast and link it to this video. But I wrote all of the material. I did that. I took some of my old jokes and I rewrote them to, fit her. And that was cool. But that wasn't her voice. Now she's older and she's starting to develop her own voice. The problem with Ava is she's a mimicker, meaning she doesn't have a problem being what other people are because it's easy for her. Ava takes the easy route. Okay, you know how they tell you take the path, take the unbeaten path. Ava's like, nah, fam, this the sidewalk. I know where that heading to. I'm gonna go that way. And for some people, that is good for them. I fought Ava at every turn with that because I felt like you weren't being yourself. You're not being yourself when you do what other people are doing or you act like other people are acting. But for Ava, that just makes sense. Like, why build a bear? Why build a bear when there's just one right here? I don't have to build a bear. Just give me that bear. Like that saves time for the other stuff I really actually want to do. And my fear is she's going to realize that all the things that she thought she liked, she doesn't like it. She would have wasted all this time. But we don't pick the time where our kids learn who they are. All we can do is help them see themselves. All you can do is hold a mirror up to their face and show them this is who you are. And with Ava, that has come across on all fronts. That's the race identity, sexual identity, just knowing what you are and what you really, really want to be. And I couldn't figure out why this was such a hard thing for her until I went through her laptop and the things she was looking at on YouTube and TikTok and things like that. And none of the things she was looking at reflected what she looked like, reflected, like maybe the values that we're trying to teach her. And none of the things lined up with her experiences. And it created a conflict in her mind because she was gravitating towards things that she didn't fit into. And it was messing with her, meaning she was having an identity crisis. Ava, we joke and say, Ava's the whitest child we have. But when you look at all the stuff she likes, it's a very European. A lot of it. She likes Justin Bieber and Billie Eilish and Olivia somebody, I can't think of it, and Ariana Grande. And sometimes she'll listen to like her. She likes Joe Sample. She likes, Roy Ayers, things like that. But for things that she likes right now, that she's really into, it was very European. And I had to ask her, I'm like, do you like yourself? Because I don't know. And as a parent, your initial reaction is just remove all those things out of her space. But when you do that, what are you replacing it with? And so my husband and I are on the spiritual journey. I know that's a new thing. It sounds all hip and cool, but we really are on a spiritual journey because we grew up Southern Baptist and we're starting to wake up to some things and realize some things that just doesn't serve us. And so if we're learning things like this about ourselves, then we have to take the time to share this with our children, which we weren't. And so we took away the laptops. We took away everybody's laptop. Nobody gets laptops. We fill that time with talking. We fill that time with doing fun things together. We fill that time with, just vegging out on the sofa together, just being together. sharing values and not always just talking at them. So after a week of Ava not having this laptop, right, I noticed a change in her. I noticed her not moving just because other people are moving. I noticed her, feeling like a little bit better about herself, looking in the mirror, smiling at herself, things like that. I don't point it out all the time. I just kind of let her be. And one day I asked her, I said, Ava, I've been seeing you smile a little bit more. Like, how are you feeling? And she goes like, Mom, I really feel good. I really feel good. And I'm like, do you know why? Like, what's going on? I knew why, but I'm like, do you know what's going on? She's like, I don't know. I just feel good. And I'm like, you haven't had your laptop in a week. Do you think that has anything to do with it? Ava was like, I think so. I really believe so. A lot of the problems our children are having is that a lot of their identity is coming from people who don't know them. These people don't know them, and they don't know these people. Their identity isn't coming from family and just them being themselves and gravitating to like real things that they like. TikTok and YouTube are superficial things that kids like because it's very stimulating. It's a lot of dopamine response, right? But if you see people that you don't recognize in yourself and you like all of their qualities, what is going to start happening is the qualities that you innately have within you, you're going to start to not like because those people don't have your qualities. And so for a lot of parents of kids, even really young children, like Frankie will watch YouTube all day and it's always somebody doing push-ups or pulling something heavy or whatever. And now she's doing backflips off my sofa. And this is a real thing. And she's finding identity in things that she likes, but she's always been capable of doing those things. She's always liked those things. Ava is a little bit different because I can't really tell you what Ava likes because she's always pulling from other people's personalities. So when I removed those things from her environment, she had no one to mimic. She can only look at herself in the mirror and say, well, okay, I like this about myself. And her confidence shot up and all of those things. I say all this to say this. I say all those things to say this. For people who have children, social media is both a gift and a curse. The internet is both a gift and a curse because they need it for school. They need it to connect with their friends because they connect with their friends in those types of ways now. They're not us. Yes, we want them to go outside and play. But as a parent, you control all of that. I make my children go outside and play. It's hot. Drink from the hose pipe, baby. I don't know what to tell you. I don't do that. I put out a pitcher of water. And I open a tent and I give them cups. They're outside. They're not going to be outside like we was outside. First of all, this is not the same sun that we had. Okay, this sun is mean. That sun we had was pretty chill. But anyway, you have to help cultivate your child's environment. Not control it. Just help them cultivate it. That way they learn how to remove toxic things from their own environment. As parents, we always tell ourselves we know what's best for our child. We do, but you have to teach your child how to also know what's best for them. So, Ava is the deep one. This is going to be the deep conversations because she's very emotionally intelligent, and I'm starting to see how these 30 days are going. Each child has 10 days, and I'm starting to see the difference. So Ava is my enlightenment. Aubrey is my reflection of being a muse. Like everything is a muse to me, and everything is a muse to her. And Frankie is my militant, I don't give a shit. That's what you got. So if this is a little bit too deep for you, do know I have other podcasts with my other kids, and whatever you get from that, that's cool. Anyway, give yourself grace. Give yourself space. Give the people in your life the same thing. Be kind, and I will see you on the other side. Peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Women, Wives, and Moms podcast. Remember, be kind to yourself, to others, and to the world. and I will see you on the other side. Peace.
ADHD, y'all.
Whoop, whoop.